Hey, Rob, what day is it today?
Today is Monday.
That must mean AMC's trying to find new ways to screw people over, because that's what AMC Theaters does these days. You know, AMC Theaters, it's no, I'm not joking. I'm not being facetious here. They are my favorite movie theater chain. They are. And yet I am constantly amazed by how poorly run and just how backwards thinking I get perplexed, Rob. I get perplexed by AMC.
I can understand that.
And today is a new day and leveling up that perplexion, I suppose. Here's what's going on.
Oh, no.
AMC Theaters, who has always been at the forefront of trying to worsen the movie-going experience for people and to make it more expensive for people to go, despite the fact that the biggest challenge facing the movie theater industry today is to get people back into the theaters. And their brilliant idea is, let's raise the prices. And that's what they're doing today. And it's funny because we talked about this a few years ago. I said AMC would do this. I said on an episode of Movie Talk a couple years ago that AMC will do this. And now they're doing it. And here's what it is. AMC Theaters has announced that they are going to be getting involved in having tiers of prices for individual seats. This is what they write in Deadline. They said the following. Theater chain AMC Entertainment is now shifting ticket prices depending on where the seats are located in the theaters in an initiative called Sightline AMC, or as it's called internally, Bend Over AMC. The seating selections based on their sightline of the movie screen within the auditorium, including value sightline, standard sightline, and preferred sightline sections. Standard sightline, the most common, is sticking to their traditional ticket costs. By the way, their traditional ticket costs, which they have been raising exponentially lately. Value sightline seats are primarily in the front row of auditorium and cheaper. Preferred sightline seats are typically in the middle of the auditorium and will cost slightly more than standard seats. AMC A-list members will have preferred sightline premium waived to encourage membership in its loyalty program. Okay. I remember on an episode of Movie Talk saying, mark my words, AMC Theaters at some point, and other movie theater chains, will, in a creative way of finding new ways to charge more, are going to create pricing tiers for the seats in theaters. And that's what you're doing. Now, some might say, well, maybe it's okay if they're raising the price of certain seats and lowering the price of others. But I call you fool if you believe that it's actually going to come out in the wash. Let's go over to the classroom for a second. Let's say, in theory, you had a theater with 100 seats and the seats were each $10 a piece, okay? That means the theater is getting a total of $1,000 for a sold-out 100-seat theater at that price, right? Okay. With this new tier, while they are not announcing this, I'm going to guarantee you right now this is exactly how it's going to play out. Let's take that theoretical situation of a $10 seat normal. Okay, so their standard will continue to be $10. Their value, or what they're saying are the people who got to sit in the front row, they're probably going to make that $9. They're probably going to, now, I hope I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure you can take this to the bank. This is what they're going to do. They're going to make the front seats $9. And by the way, it's probably only about 15 seats that will fall into that category. Probably only about 15 seats in total that will get the $9 value. Okay, now we get into the premium. They're probably going to charge $12 for the premium. Now, take a look at what is happening here. And by the way, that premium is probably going to make up about 40% of the seats. So while they might say that the value seats, they'll lower by $1 or $2, it will be a small amount of seats, probably front row, maybe a couple of other outlier seats. And so look, we're lowering those prices. But they're going to take the premium seats or the main body of seats that's more around the middle of the auditorium that will represent a larger number of the seats, and they will increase the price more than they're decreasing the value. Basically, at the end of the day, they're probably going to be pulling in $1,200 to, I don't know, $1,400 for that theater, for a full theater now, whereas when everything was costing $10 a ticket, they were pulling in $1,000. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't fall for this facade that, now here's the thing. I can already hear some people making the argument and screaming at me through their computer monitors saying, but John, when you go to a concert or if you go to a football game, the better seats, you will be paying a more premium price. For the better. Sure thing. I go to the John Williams concert every year. Ann and I treat ourselves. We splurge a little bit and we get ourselves the closer up seats so we can watch John Williams because we never know when it's going to be his last concert, when he's going to retire. So I get that. The difference, though, between a John Williams concert, a football game, a hockey game, a performance of live Beauty and the Beast on stage on Broadway, is that you're not looking at a damn screen. You're actually sitting closer to John Williams. You're actually getting closer to the band. You're actually getting closer to the field of play. You're actually getting closer to the stage where the action is happening. You're not watching a screen. This whole value seating, standard seating, premium seating, or whatever it is they're calling it, is nothing more than another Adam Aaron buffoon scheme to once again screw over the people who go to the movies. And listen, I understand interest rates and inflation are high right now. So I get it. And I understand that when interest and inflation are going up and it's costing more for the theaters to be in business, that they got to look for a way to up the price a little bit to counteract the cost of inflation. I'm not faulting them for that. But for you to stab me in the kidney and then say, whoo, I got that mosquito, you should thank me. When you are screwing somebody over and then trying to phrase it in a way of, look at how we're proposing a new system of value for you. It is, again, another thing of the Adam Aaron reign over at AMC, which has been disastrous, and this company will be so much better when he's gone. And again, I say this as somebody who AMC is my favorite movie theater chain. I ain't hating on AMC. They're my favorite. I like them. That's the movies I go to. When I go to watch Ant-Man, I'm going to an AMC theater. They're my favorite. But being my favorite is what it makes it extra frustrating when I see this type of stuff. And it just, again, guys, it frustrates me so much. The tone deafness of this company right now in understanding that your industry, the movie theater going industry, is in peril right now. And the number one thing you need to be focusing on is getting people back into the theaters. That means giving them the best experience possible and keeping the prices as reasonable as possible. It's going to be pricey. It costs a lot. Look at this temple. That's a temple of movies right there. That is not cheap to operate. I get it. As a moviegoer, I appreciate that. But this whole system of Adam Aaron of like, hey, there's fewer people coming. We have two options. All right, let's go back over to the classroom for just a second here. You have two options when you're facing this type of trouble, right? Option number one, make more people want to come. Okay, it's like, okay, attendance is down, so we're losing money. What do we do? Well, option number one, let's make the experience so more people want to come back to the theaters. That will make us more money. Option two, which is the Adam Aaron system of government, is just charge the people still coming more. That's how we make up for it. Hey, less people are coming, so we're making more money. That's fine. The people who are loyal, the people who keep coming, the people who are keeping the movie theater business in business, just charge them more. That'll make up for the money we're losing of other people not coming. Here's the problem. When you pursue option number two, it's going to increase the likelihood that fewer of them will continue to come. Because HBO, is getting more expensive. Netflix is getting more expensive. Disney Plus is getting more expensive. Gas is more expensive. Inflation is going up, all that kind of stuff. You are just making it easier for more people to come. So you create this cycle where, okay, by raising prices, we cause less people to come. Less people are coming, we make less money. Let's solve it by charging the people who are coming more, which then leads to less people coming, which leads to we're making less money. It creates this death spiral cycle. And instead of just focusing on, let's find ways to make coming to the theaters fun again. Let's find a way to really sell to people. This is a great night out. You're getting good value for the money. Again, I understand as inflation goes up, ticket prices need to go up. I get it. But the way in which AMC's Adam Aron has been handling this is nothing short of criminally negligent. And when the movie theater system fails, the first fingers have got to be pointed at this guy. Because unfortunately, it's a follow the leader industry. And as AMC does, don't think for a second Regal won't do it too. Don't think for a second that at some point Cinemark won't too. Alamo Drafthouse may not. They're pretty fiercely independent. But I mean, this type of stuff drives me crazy. Anyway,
guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions. Think about that. If you think you're only subscribed to a handful of services, you might want to double check. With Rocket Money, you can quickly identify and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will quickly and easily identify your subscriptions for you so you can stop paying for the ones you don't want and don't even use. Simply find the subscription you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. No more long hold times with customer service or tedious emailing back and forth. Rocket Money makes canceling subscriptions as easy as the click of a button. My wife Ann and I moved out of Burbank 2 years ago, and one of the first things I discovered when I loaded up Rocket Money was that I was still paying for a gym membership I haven't even been to in Burbank in 2 years. So stop throwing away your money. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea. rocketmoney.com/Campea.
Chris, you hear about this? I don't know. Am I way off? Do you think maybe this isn't such a bad thing? I don't know. What do you think about it?
No, I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm so cheap. I'm so cheap. So I'm going to be in those stupid little seats staring at a screen like this. It's going to be horrible. The chat nailed it. Is robbery going to feel like a good thing in a place like that? No, it's not.
I like that.
It's really stupid. And I think this is a really dumb thing to do to people who are, you know, patroning your business, increasing costs like this.
By the way, I just want to point out the picture that Jonathan has up right now. That is a temple of movies. That is the AMC Burbank 16. And you see that round part of the building with all the Onward posters? That was AMC Movies News's office. That was a storage closet for the AMC theater. And they gave us that part of the building, that round part of the building that was just a big storage closet. And for several years, that is where we did AMC Movie News from. So,
Jonathan, can you bring up that other AMC picture you showed before of the interior?
Yes.
he's got to find them.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Okay. I'm just confused by it because there's a picture of Uma Thurman from Super Ex-Girlfriend. Why would you use that of Uma Thurman? What a weird choice. What a flex. I don't
Where?
understand
Oh, yeah,
it.
right there.
I'm like, oh, yeah, Kill Bill? No, get rid of that. Super Ex-Girlfriend. I think this is a really dumb thing because also with streaming and everything, usually you increase costs, right? Because of not only running a business and everything, the cost of production and everything, but also because of, you know, market scarcity or things like that. Are people clamoring to get to a movie theater? No, because they do have all of these other streaming options. And seeing things on a big screen is great and amazing. Dazzling images, we want to go there, but not at that cost when we're already paying for all these other streaming things where I can eat my own food at home and I can have my dog and I don't have to wear pants. AMC gets real mad about that. So like, why would I go for more money? It's stupid.
Rob, I mean...
You giggling about me now?
I was going to say, that was your number one thing on your job demands when you came here. I mean,
that's why I want Zoom still.
we get it that listen, the best movie experiences are in movie theaters. We all believe that. We all know that. And at some point, as inflation goes up, prices need to rise. But I mean, they just took, let's be honest, the seats that all of us pick when we load up the apps and we're picking our seats, They just took all the seats that we generally pick and say, those are the ones we're raising prices on. I don't know. What do you think about this?
I think what they're basically doing is they're saying part of their product isn't as good as another part of their product. Like,
which is a dangerous thing to do.
It's a really dangerous thing to do. Like when I was a kid growing up, sometimes I liked to sit in the front row. Like I'd see movies multiple times because depending on where you sat in a theater, you had a different experience of the film. Like sometimes I'd sit in the back. Sometimes most of the time I like to sit in the middle for sound reasons and I want to sit where the screen is on the edge of my peripheral vision. But what they're doing right now is they're stratifying their patrons.
Yep.
You know, as soon as you walk in, you're like, oh, those people don't have the money to pay for our seats. I mean, it's such a weird thing to do. And they're admitting that some of their product is not as good as other parts of their product. The whole point about sitting in like a AMC Dolby Cinema is that all the seats are great. You know, and you're getting with the lounge, those seats are great. I mean, you go into that at the AMC 16 or whatever, your AMC, the Burbank AMC 16, that's theater. Every seat's great. So are they going to stratify? Regardless. Are they going to then say the Dolby theater experience is now we're going to charge extra for, like I've sat all around that theater and I've never had a bad experience.
Oh, it's always great.
It's always great. So now they're coming in and they're telling you that some of their product isn't as good as another part of their product. The whole point about going to that theater is it doesn't matter where you sit, you have a premium experience. Not anymore.
It's going to bring up the scalping thing too sometimes, probably, right? Scalping like they did with Taylor Swift tickets. But also, what if the movies that don't sell tickets, the people who want good seats are going to have to pay that premium for like a movie that
probably
people
like a big Marvel opening, I could see scalping tickets
or just any opening, just any like
We've
even the smaller movies.
Seats.
There's a price increase for those. It's going to be all around.
Probably, yeah. They've been raising the price. They remember they already started the system of. It used to be a movie was a movie. You know, in a $10 movie theater, you go pay $10. You can see this movie or that movie and sit wherever. Now, AMC charges more. Like, you're going to be paying more to go see Ant-Man next week than you did when you went to go see Where the Crawdads Sing. We're kidding. Nobody went to go see that.
It's
but,
so
I
bad.
mean, they're already doing that, right? Now, let me play Satan's advocate for a second, all right? Let me play Satan's advocate just for a second. You could argue that, and there is a line about this in the article, that, you know, the people who are A-list members, I am an AMC A-list member, this won't affect them. So part of it is they're trying to encourage people to sign up for AMC A-list. Now, I will say this. I believe every movie fan should have A-list. I really do. It is the best, I think, loyalty theater membership service there is. For 20-something bucks a month that I spend, I get to go up to 12 movies a month, 3 movies a week, right? That is an insanely good value. That is an insanely good value. So one could argue, if you wanted to play devil's advocate, that, hey, maybe they're doing all this to try to nudge people more over to becoming A-list members. Okay, good motivation, bad execution. Because all this is going to do, I think, is turn more people off from going to the movies. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? AMC is finding new ways to charge you more. This time, all the seats that you normally would like to sit on, they're going to charge you more for those. But don't worry, the neck breakers, they'll take $1 off or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Can you think of some positive upsides that maybe I'm just overlooking because I haven't had enough time to think about it yet? I'd love to hear them. Whatever your guys' thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.